Hey buddies! Today, I'm gonna tell you all about this crazy Chinese comedy flick from 2018 called Island of Women. There's an old legend that somewhere in the South Pacific, there's an island where only chicks live. Folks call it the Virgin Island. And there are all kinds of wild rumors going around, like how the ladies living there have some kind of mystical seed that makes hem age 10 times slower. Loads of dudes have tried to find this mysterious place, but they all bit the dust without even catching a glimpse of it. Lots of folks just dream of getting close to the mystery, and one of those dudes is the big shot Mr. Sun, who's obsessed with the idea of grabbing the seed of immortality. Mr. Sun sent out dozens of expeditions, but not a single one of them succeeded. Van hears on the radio that Mr. Sun's sending out another group to search for the Virgin Island for the guy. All these legends about the mysterious place ain't just pretty fairy tales. His dad, Mr. Lee, was the only one who managed to find the island, but he never came back from there, not leaving a single word behind. To lift the veil of mystery, you know? The only thing Van heard were rumors that his pops got hypnotized by some island hotties, and he stuck around with them forever. Van decides to hit up Mr. Sun and ask to get included in the expedition squad. He's hoping to find his dad, or at least something that'll help him make sense of what went down. Arriving at the port, the dude runs into his buddy Hanwoo, who just got out of the army. Hanwoo's got a little experience under his belt, so he decides to tag along with his pal for some adventures, and the two fellas hop on the ship. Mr. San's Merc hands the travelers a GPS tracker so they can signal if they find the right spot, and also so they can be found if they go missing. At first, the dudes are hyped up on the ship, buzzing with wanderlust, but after 2 months of aimless drifting on the ocean, their mood changes. Food supplies are running low, and the navigator turns out to be busted. Their skill at navigating the high seas led to the dudes losing hope of ever getting out of that watery prison. One time, one of them was chilling on the deck, soaking up some rays, when all of a sudden, he felt something nasty dropping on his face. Opening his eyes, he saw a flock of seagulls circling above the ship, and that meant land was close by somewhere. Looking through the binoculars, he realized it wasn't just any old shore, but the very island they'd been searching for. The stoked dudes started prepping to make landfall, but the high waves ain't letting them come straight to land, so they gotta leave the ship and swim their way to the shore. As the dude opens his eyes while swimming, he sees himself surrounded by a bunch of armed ladies. The guy tries to talk to him, but they ain't saying nothing back, just watching him and his buddy in silence. His friend's feeling better than him and tries to charm the ladies into chatting, but that ain't working on him. On the flip side, they see the loud dude as a threat, and after tying up the boys, these ladies take him to their village and lock him up in a wooden cage. The leader of the female tribe, a leathery old gal, comes up. She's saying she's hella surprised that only a few made it to the island in 500 years, and they were all experienced sailor moms. But no one expected to see two young dudes washed up on the beach. Hen doesn't buy that these young hotties have been living here for over 500 years, but the women ain't saying shit, leaving the dude caged up. When the chicks leave, Van whips out a hidden knife and plans an escape, but his buddy tells him to chill and wait it out. Night falls and the dudes really bust out of their cage, but instead of fleeing together, they split up. Ken goes off searching for a way off the island, while Vance heads back to the tribe to find proof of their existence. Ken immediately falls into the Huntress's trap and ends up in a pit, while Vance sneaks into Mon's hut and hides behind the curtain, watching as the girl gets ready to take a bath. Unfortunately, the guy couldn't sneak out without being noticed. Moon's little sis saw him and raised a ruckus, gathering all the homegirls. They brought him to the Patriarch, and she read out the punishment for trespassing according to their customs. If a dude sees one of the ladies in her birthday suit, the only way to lift that curse is by offing the perv. The injured Hanwoo guy comes into the tent, trying to save his buddy's ass. The dude tries to turn on the charm again, bragging about his military experience while he's at it. But that's just pissing off the women, and all the tribe members are demanding the uninvited guest be executed. But before destroying them, the Patriarch wants to know what they came for. Van tells them about his father, and the elder chieftain of the tribe recognizes that man, and wouldn't mind finding him too. And if she succeeds, he'll face the same fate as his son. The Patriarch orders the prisoners to be taken to the sacred tree and roasted on the ritual bonfire. No one's paying any attention to the dude's pleas. This chick that Van was watching walks into the room, goes up to the guy, and acts like she's gonna end his suffering. But really, she cuts the ropes instead. The girl admits she still hates the stranger, but doesn't want him to die because of her. Despite their efforts, the losers can't escape again and get caught in traps set up in the woods, ending up tied to a tree come morning. They're just about to roast him, but the ritual gets stopped because one of the tribe's girls goes and drowns herself in the ocean. All the women go running to the shore, hoping to help their sister out, and the dudes get another chance to escape. The homies manage to make a break for it and bolt for the beach they're planning to leave the island from. But Van stops and tells his buddy that he's got to save the drowning chick. Van brings the girl ashore and Hen gives her mouth to mouth, managing to revive the little lady. They take the dudes to the patriarch's tent, but this time they ain't tying them up. The girl who nearly drowned asks the leader to spare their lives because they saved her. Besides that, the girl started developing feelings for the dude. So the big guy was kind of ready to let the guests off the hook, but then someone spilled the beans that they torched the sacred tree while escaping. Then the elder ordered to execute the outsiders again, but Moon and Xinhua begged to give the dudes one last chance, taking full responsibility for them. The patriarch agreed to give the fellas a shot, but only on the condition that they revive the tree within 3 months. If they can't do it, they're getting the axe. The guys cleared out all the charred wood and hooked the tree up to some IVs, hoping to revive it from the inside out. But besides that, they're starting to get involved in the village life and using modern gear to catch some massive fish and teaching the girls how to do some gardening. The guests are becoming full-fledged members of the tribe, and they're starting to trust them. Xinhua keeps trying to get Hen's attention by giving him flowers and gifts. Wang's trying to catch a GPS signal, and that's when they see a viper crawling near Mun. The guy rushes to save the girl, and they end up real close to each other. Turns out it wasn't really necessary, because that viper was one feisty little critter. It's my fam's sacred tree that's blooming, so the tribe's throwing a big ol' shindig for it. They got all kinds of rituals and stuff going on at the different stations for the occasion. Watching Moon do her dancing thing, Van's thinking about the meaning of life, and how it ain't about how long you lived, but how you lived it. This dude's thinking he'd lay it all on the line to protect his girl, even if it cost him his life. The dude invites Moon out for a stroll, and she tells him about how their tribe descended from a coven of witches way back when. The patriarch was a witchy kid. She was the only one who managed to survive when the civilized folks went on a witch hunt. After getting away, she took some mystical seed with her, which helped them multiply and stay young for centuries. In the morning, he takes his buddy to the spot where she last saw his dad, and the guy finds a diary there, where he described his life. The diary says the man was welcomed warmly, so he didn't go back or report their location to not bring any trouble to the girls. After reading Father Vaughn's words, he understands that he needs to destroy the tracker, or else Mr. Sun's crew will be here soon. The guy smashed the device, but it keeps blinking, showing that the signal is still being transmitted. The guys run to the matriarch and tell her that Mr. Sun will be here soon with his mercenaries. They advise the leader to take the women and leave the island, but the women have other plans. Waiting for the guests, the women treat them to strong drinks and take them captive. Not waiting for the scouts, Mr. Sun himself descends to the shore. So the boss gets greeted by Van and Hen, who try to convince him it's not the island they were looking for, and that they just got lost. But the dude sees right through their lies and orders his goons to tie up all the ladies and the 2 dudes who tried to double-cross him. Sun takes the old guy to where he's hiding the goods, threatening to off him and his crew, plus the new pals they made, if he doesn't play ball. But once they hit the jungle, the girls manage to give Sun's goons the slip and book it out of there. Yo, Mr. Snooze strapped himself with a bomb and threatened to blow it up, y'all! If things go south, the dude realizes everyone else is gonna get caught in the crossfire too. He leads his ex-boss to the beach, hoping to distract him from the jungle ruckus. But the ladies come out of the bushes themselves to help their buddy out. In the middle of the scuffle, Snooze accidentally hits the button, and they got 30 seconds till kaboom! Van knows what he's gotta do to save the tribe and his friend, so he books it into the water, away from the crowd, battling the waves and all. He's reminiscing about his life with the tribe and the time he spent with Moon. An explosion goes off and the girls on the shore are mourning their guest who saved their lives at the cost of his own. The nuns crying louder than anyone else. After losing someone dear to them both, Van opens his eyes lying on the rocks, and it seems like the island gave him another chance to start his life over there. And that's a wrap, folks. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about this flick in the comments, and don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe.